Transitioning, is it good or bad for you?
Here's the truth.
Yes.
So this is a question that people keep asking, especially it feels like those who don't understand what it actually means to be transgender. There's a lot of misconceptions out there, especially right now. People think transitioning can be harmful, that it ruins your life. But that's not what we know and have experienced through our own lives and living experience. Transitioning for us has saved our lives. And we want to talk about that today.
Yeah.
Right? Cool. So, yeah, for me, I used to live with pretty severe, very severe depression and anxiety. It was to a point where I wasn't able to function and be myself. And I, in college, I failed out of a lot of classes. I almost wasn't able to continue with my schooling. It was really bad, just my mental health, because something was off, right? And I just wasn't really expressing myself authentically and didn't feel like alignment there in truth in who I am. So, but once I started, accepting my gender, that's when everything changed for me and something kind of clicked in for me. Once I was able to explore this part of myself and accept my masculinity, accept my my true gender of being a man, that's really when this stuff started to lift. The severe depression and anxiety, it's the only time that really started to lift for me. And it also, like, I just felt a lot more confident, a lot more just like I was able to be me and I was able to express myself. So that's what transitioning is and has done for me. Transitioning was never the problem. The problem was that I was hiding who I was. That was the issue, right? And it wasn't that I had to change myself. It was that I just had to be able to feel safe in being myself,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I had a similar experience. I also had a lot of depression and I had a lot of difficulty with romantic relationships or attempting them, basically. And eventually I started to have a hard time in grad school. And all of a sudden, I realized that it was because I was suppressing my gender identity because I was just asking myself what the problem was. And like why I didn't have any motivation basically to do what I was doing, And that answer came to me as a surprise, but it did turn out to be correct. And so, I came out and I did feel a lot of liberation, but I also felt scared, not because of coming out, but because of just worrying how it would affect my life and where my life would go from there, meaning would people accept me and would I be able to succeed in life, but, as a woman, as a trans woman. But that was true. I was actually a woman, but I let myself be convinced otherwise and then went back in the closet for another year. And that was definitely, I would say, the hardest year of my life, or at least one of the hardest. And yeah, it felt like losing myself, you know, all over again, really. And then I started to seek for information about like twin flames and about spirituality. And that's when I found our spiritual community, Twin Flames Universe. And there I learned how to love myself. And that's when everything changed for me, because I could face everything that was bothering me from the previous year. And then I could come out once and for all and just completely step into my truth and live my truth. And now, you know, living authentically as who I really am, I am much happier, I'm much more confident, I'm much more myself than ever. And I actually noticed that immediately when I came out, you know, for the last time, yeah. So it was really cool. And, you know, that's what transitioning really is. That's what transitioning is for. And it's not something harmful and crazy and unhinged that you do. And it's not a thought that you have, or an idea, or an ideology, or a social, it's certainly not a social movement. It's about a personal healing and embracing yourself. That's what it's about.
Exactly.
Yeah. If that's who you are,
Yeah.
which it was for us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly. Being transgender and transitioning is just you being who you are and expressing that and accepting that fully, and yeah, really being brave enough to live for who you are, because you know sometimes it can be a difficult journey, and that's why, you know, doing the healing work is so important, because it can be a very challenging journey and challenging thing to go through, but it's like there's no other way to live. You know, you're not really living if you're not being yourself and expressing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's who you are, you know, if it's who you are, the choice between living as who you really are and then just denying and suppressing it, it's not even a choice.
It's not a choice.
Yeah, because if you're denying who you are and suppressing that, you're like actively hurting and harming yourself on a constant basis. And that's not something you ever want to do. And the challenges that come up when you transition, that's something you can face and that you can move through and that you can get through, right? And you're facing the challenges head on, but it's better than just having them be buried and you're not moving through anything, you're not overcoming anything, you're not making any progress with those challenges. You're just staying stuck and suppressing it. And so that's definitely worse. Like any challenge you face after you come out and start transitioning, it's nothing compared to the challenge of not living.
Well, that's where we were at before we found the healing work, and it was so awful that we searched and sought for anything to help us with how we were feeling. And you know, that's just proof in itself right there of, you know, it's like one thing or the other, you know.
Yeah.
And there's only one thing that's an actual choice, you know. And when you do the healing work and you choose to really love and accept yourself, this is when you start feeling within, really, you feel confident, you feel peaceful, you feel your own inner strength, and that's that's when change really starts to happen, is when you feel, you know, so strongly the truth within you, and you feel that love and acceptance for yourself. And then it's just really natural to take the next steps for yourself on your transition, um, because it's just you stepping into the next phase of your own like self-expression, and your just the next level of being yourself and sharing yourself with the world, you know. So, and that's what we want to share with others, because we've gone through that ourselves, um, you know, to get to a point where we're really expressing ourselves, and we feel good in our being our true selves and expressing our true gender. And we can help you with that if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're transitioning and you're having struggles with it, or it's bringing up things in your life that you really need to deal with, and you want to heal, then we're here for you. You're not alone in this, and you don't need to people don't need to change who they are. They just need to come home to who they've always been. And to do that, all you need to do is be willing to love yourself, and you can get through any challenge that you have. You don't have to do this alone, and you don't have to feel like, oh, transitioning is, this burden on me, because all you're doing is facing the challenges that were always there and moving through them and getting over them. And we are here to help you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Cool. Well, thanks for watching. I hope this resonated with you. If you want to work with us, you can find our stuff below. And yeah, we're here to help.
Okay. Like and subscribe for more. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.